Whoa, this episode was quite intense. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a review, and then maybe I will do like a things you missed, but that is going to be full of spoilers for the people who want explanation as to what is actually going on, because there are titans who can actually roam at night, and the thing is that is not supposed to happen because normal titans cannot roam at night. I'm going to be explaining everything in my things you missed video, and it's going to be full of spoilers, and if you don't want spoilers, then I suggest that you don't watch. Anyway, let's start with the episode. Okay, I'm going to break things down so you understand everything that is going on. So we start with the first point that I have here is a titan attacking another titan. That was a bit random. I mean, titans are supposed to attack only humans, and that is pretty much it, but we have this titan here who is attacking another titan for no reason at all. But then again, these titans are different than all the others because they can roam at night, so maybe this is like a new behavior that these new titans have. I don't know. But let's get on to the second point. The second point is that when Connie starts talking about his mother, there's always someone, right? Have you noticed that there's always someone who interrupts him when he's talking about his mother? It's like they don't want him to talk about it, and the same happened here with Ymir. Now, Connie was talking about his mother, and then Ymir starts laughing and just, you know, making a whole joke out of the whole scene because they are not in a good situation. So I think she's trying to lighten up the mood as well as take Connie's mind off what might have potentially happened to his family. But at the same time, we already know that it is his mother who got turned into a titan. Now, how that happened, I'm going to explain that in my things you missed, so be sure to go check that out. Anyways, now point number 3 is the canned food and that scene right there. So I'm going to be explaining what it means, and this is what it means, right? So Ymir was looking for food and she found a can which had a different language on it. Now, everyone within the walls speaks one language. Okay, now if Ymir is able to translate what is on the can, then that means she knows a second language. And then Ranina grabs the can and says, I don't know the language on this can, so how comes you know that? And it's pretty simple if you use your head. If the people within the walls have one language and then you have someone translating another language, then that means that the person is from somewhere else than within the walls. So obviously now we have people who actually do not come from within the walls. So Rainer was kind of surprised how Ymir was able to translate that. And the thing is, I want you to pay attention to Rainer's look in his face because it's going to be really important for future episodes. Now, let's go to point number 4, Rainer's flashback. So Rainer's flashback was of him, Berthold, and another kid. And the thing I'm going to tell you about this scene is that they were on a mission. And if you look at the titan who grabbed the third person, the third kid, and his name is Marcel. So for the people who don't know, his name is Marcel, and that's all I'm going to reveal until my next video. But what happened is the titan looks exactly like the one that Ymir turned into. And if you want to see what the Ymir's titan looks like, just have a look at the trailer and you will see her in action. And pretty much the trailer reveals what Ymir is going to do in the next episode. After getting the flashback, we get the scene of Rainer who carries the titan, and I think that is kind of badass. The thing is that Rainer has a lot of strength, so as a person he is quite resourceful, and he decides to commit suicide by throwing himself and the titan off the tower. But then Connie saves the day by cutting open the titan's jaw, and thereby they kick the titan out. Now notice that it's Ymir, Rainer, and Berthold who kick the titan, meaning that I think they are some of the strongest people in the tower. Now, after the whole thing happens, Rainer gets bandaged by Krista, and obviously he says he's going to marry her because everyone is infatuated by Krista. And then we get Ymir who comes up to Krista and says that she wants to be taken care of, and then we get to hint that she actually likes Krista because remember at the start when she had the conversation with Rainer said that she does not look like the woman who is interested in men. And then Ymir gave Rainer the opposite response, but we all know that Rainer actually likes women because he wants to marry Krista, right? The next scene we get is the beast titan throwing horses and boulders and stuff into the tower to destroy the tower. So we know that the goal is to destroy the tower, as we saw the beast titan shouting towards the tower. At this point you should know that this is a titan shifter because he is able to plan and carry out tasks efficiently. This is no spoiler, but to some people it still is. So obviously the Survey Corp team destroyed the titans, or at least they finished off the first wave of titans, which was pretty much it. But then again they saw some new titans approaching, and these titans were not from outside the wall, they were from inside the wall. And from the previous episode we learned that these titans are actually humans who are turned into titans. So whatever the ape titan did, or whatever the beast titan did, he created a new army to attack the tower again. But this time the Survey Corp members were not good enough to take down these titans because they ran out of gas and blades. Now there is one point where I want to analyze, and that is Gelgar's death, right? So obviously he gives up because first of all he does not even have enough energy to keep going, and secondly he could not control his body since he hit his head. So a Titan grabs him, Nanaba steps in to save him, he falls into the tower, and then Nanaba is left exposed to the Titans because she used the last of her gas to save Gelgar, which kind of proves her loyalty to humanity and to her comrades. So Nanaba is definitely someone you would want in your team, but it's kind of too late because we see what happens to her when she ran out of gas. Now, one lesson here that I want to point out here with Gelgar's death is that Attack on Titan makes you realize that you can die at any time no matter what kind of skill you have, and also people deal with certain problems in the world by using things like drinks and all these other things to cope. But at the same time, what happened to Gelgar here is a reminder that sometimes the world is so cruel that whatever you use to cope with its madness will be taken away from you, and sometimes this can be people who have power over you, and the thing is, there is nothing you can do. So the summary is that sometimes things will happen in the world which you have no control of. The last point I wanted to talk about is Nanaba's last words, and she said, "Father, stop. I'm sorry, I won't do it again." If you add her words to the action that is being done to her, then that means that she was probably physically abused as a kid, or maybe her father did something with her. We don't know what it is, but these lines are really dark if you listen to what she is saying and you apply the actions that are being done to her with it. This actually never happened in the manga, and in the manga she just got eaten anyways, but maybe they added this in the anime to give us more context, or you know, some kind of character development, or maybe they just wanted to tell us her past. But one thing about the scene that I want to mention is that sometimes when people die, when people are near death, they say that their entire life flashes in front of them. So maybe one of her most memorable experiences in her life, which is her father doing something to her, appeared in front of her, and then she started saying, "Father, stop, I'm sorry, I won't do it again." And the same thing happened to Mike when he was about to die. I mean, he was mentally stable until the moment when he was about to die, and that is where he started freaking out and losing his mind. So, you know, it goes to show that it doesn't matter how sane you are, death is going to drive you insane and turn you into someone completely different than you claimed to be. Now let's go on to the last scene, which is a big reveal that Ymir is actually a Titan. Okay, now this has something to do with her being able to read another language, meaning that she comes from somewhere from outside the walls, and she has the power to turn into a Titan. But one thing I want to mention about this scene is that she was supposed to give us a flashback between her and Krista, but that is happening the next episode. That is not what really happened in the manga, but then again, they are changing things up to make sure that the suspense stays within the anime. With that being said, that is my analysis for this week's episode. I will be doing a things you missed video for this episode, so make sure to check that out if you are really interested in spoilers and how these titans are being created by this beast titan and so forth. If you liked or enjoyed this video, then hit the like button, subscribe, and obviously check out some of my fun videos at the end and hit that notification button so you get notified whenever I upload something. With that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.